Hello guys, welcome to second video of this section, extracting a model from our UI needs. In this video, we will learn how to make our model to interact with our view using data binding. In this video, we will remove the string mock data from our model classes and will implement data binding to show data in list view. We will also look into advanced way of data binding. First, we will create the model class. Then we'll add data binding dependencies and write code to make data binding work. At the end, we will populate our list from model class using data binding. Things to keep in mind before starting data binding is naming. The naming convention is very important while working with data binding. It also makes your code cleaner because if you are using data binding, then you don't need to write glue code. So let's start with coding. This is our basic application which we have developed in last video. Now we will implement MVVM design pattern and data binding. To implement MVVM design pattern, we need three components: model, view, and view model. This your main activity and main XML file is your view. Let's create model. Project model with one entity, string title. Let's create our view model. In view model, extend it with the view model. There you go. Now we have all three components: model, view model, and our view. Now we will implement data binding. To implement data binding, you need to add data binding enable in your Gradle file. After this, go to your main XML file and your main layout should be enclosed in layout tag. To implement data binding, layout, data, in data, variable, name view model, main view model, your view model name, and enclose it. There you go. What I did, I just enclose your main constraint layout into layout tags. In layout tag, I have created another tag data in which I have defined my variable view model. Now our view model is accessible in our main activity XML file. Now let's move our logic from controller to view model. To move our logic, we first need to implement proper data binding in main activities. So first create architecture, MVVM architecture. Then we will start moving our logic from controller to view model. We will be also using a little bit advanced MVVM architecture here. So keep your focus. To implement data binding, let's create activity, main, binding, binding. Binding is equal to data binding util dot set content view, reference of your this class, comma, and your layout, r dot layout dot main layout. There you go. Now we don't need set content view anymore. Let's get instance of our view model as well. Main view model, view model, view model is equal to new main view model. Now we will bind our view model to our data binding, binding dot set view model, and pass it your view model. There you go. Now we are ready to move our logic from controller to our view model because we have implemented main data binding. Now to start moving our logic, we are also moving our code into next level. We will be using model classes instead of this string array data. So we also need to add adapter class if we want custom layout. We're also moving to custom layout to add this. Let's create main adapter class. main adapter, extend with base adapter, and implement the method, these four methods of the every adapter class. We're also creating a layout for item underscore layout. There you go. Now we will also implement data binding here, layout data variable. Now here we will be passing our view model instance, view model, cut. Now we will define a text view because it would be simple. We are going for a simplest example which contain only one text view in a whole list. Padding 5dp, text size 20 sp is enough. ID, text view, title. There you go. Our layout is also ready. Go back to your main activity class. Let's move our logic, this set project list, cut, and move it to your model class. There you go. It will give you error as well, so comment it out because we don't need it anymore. We don't need array adapter, we don't need list view instance, because we will be implementing now MVVM design pattern and data binding. We will be setting our list using data binding. So go back to your main activity class, and what it needs to do now, it's just creating your setting the means view model. It's going to call this method, create method, and it's just calling from here view model dot set project. We have just defined it's not accessible or it's private. Need to make it public. Set project. There you go. Now it's calling the main view model set project list. It will set the list to a project here. What we are going to do here as well, we are also going to create an instance of our project list and set main adapter here to it. But we have just created our main adapter but didn't complete it. So let's complete it first before setting main adapter to our list view. First create a constructor in adapter. It will contain context and our view model instance for future references. View model. Let's define these two instances here as well. Main view model, this dot context is equal to context, view model is equal to view model, this dot view model is equal to view model. There you go. So we have defined it, but while we are working with the adapter, for now we are not going for advanced approach which we will be using in the further tutorials. For now we are just going for the simplest example here. In the simplest way, no view holder, nothing, just we will be using layout inflator and binding the data with the inflator. So we will keep it simple and implement MVVM design pattern using it and data binding. So layout inflator, this dot layout inflator is equal to layout inflator from, we need to pass just context which we have just received. We will also define our list view here which need to be populated, but we are not setting it from here. We will be setting it using data binding. We're just going to define it here. List main model, project model, project list equal to new array list. There you go. Now we need to set these four functions. Whenever you need to set adapter, you are defining your custom adapter, you need to define all these four functions. Get count is count of your list view. So project list dot size, it's get count. Item on of a project list dot get position, this is your item ID is your position. Now come to this is your main, where you are defining your layout and setting text to a layout. So first need to do data binding item layout binding is equal to item layout binding dot inflate. Need to pass our layout inflator, which we have just defined, parent view model instance, and this one is no need to set it, just set it false. Binding dot title dot set text project list dot get item on a specific position dot title. There you go. Now return this binding dot, see this is root means your main binding view, it return the view. There you go. That's all, your adapter is set, but it won't refresh it when you receive data while you're working. Even you call web service, and after calling a web service you get the data, and you want your list view to populate when you receive the data. To do this, we're going one step ahead and we'll be creating our binding util here. New Java class. This class will be used for our next tutorial as well. Whenever we will be working with the MVV from now and onward, we will be using this binding util class for updating data when we are waiting for a response and when we are waiting for the data. Whenever we call web service and get the response, when we receive the data, we will set the list or text view using binding utils. So name it binding utils. We will set our data to a list view, but how would our list view and data will be bind? They know each other. To know each other, we will be using this. In our layout class, first go to your model class and define your list view and your model, which we will set to our entries in our list view. So list project model project listing. Now we will initialize it as well, is equal to new array list. There you go. Create binding. Now go to binding adapter. There you go. Name it anything like project item or anything. This name will be used in this our layout class whenever we will be setting our list. Public static void populate project list. It will contain list view comma list of our project model. There you go. Now here, if our list is empty, whenever we get the data from the service, this will be called and we will checking if our list is equal to null, just return. Otherwise we will get main adapter from our list view. We have received this list view. Whenever we update the view, and it will notify the list view that list has been updated, and it will call this method with list and list view instance, and we are getting the adapter from the list view instance, so that we don't create the main adapter again and again every time whenever list is updated. So list view dot get adapter typecast main adapter, and from here we will be calling adapter function to add items or list, which we didn't create it yet. So let's create it. Go back to your main adapter and create a function public void add items, and it will contain list project list, and we will be adding this list into a project. Add all list and notify dataset changed. All done. Go back to binding util adapter.add items and pass your list. Now we need to bind main view model list view with our list item, so it call this binding util populate items. How we are going to do that? Go to your activity class. This is our list view. We have created binding adapter for this. Whenever we will be calling binding adapter, we need to use app colon name of the function which we have just created, project item there. Now here in this project item we will be passing @view model name dot name of the variable which we have just created in view model. There you go. Now whenever this project list update, it trigger this project item function and come to this binding adapter, and project item will call this set the list. So let's update our list view in our view adapter as well. So now we will be updating our list view. For now we will be just updating mock data, but using our view model class. So let's create a list project model project list, or you can just project model list equal to new array list. There you go. Create a for loop int I is equal to 0, I is less than any value, for example 5, I plus plus, and we don't need it anymore. Here in this we will be creating a project model object, project model is equal to new project model. After creating project model, we will setting project model dot title anything. For now I am setting project plus I. After this I am adding it into our project model list dot add one item, so project model. When our this project list is ready, after this for loop our project model is list is ready, then we will set our list to our project listing dot add all project model list. That's all. There you go. Now when you run this project, it will populate your list view. Your result will be this. Why we use data binding in this? Because model basically used to make our implementation dynamic, and data binding make our code more clean, as we don't need to write glue code anymore. So now whenever we need to add more items, more title, in future we may need to add price, we just need to add it in the view model class, and we just need to update our model classes, and that's all. We don't need to rewrite each and everything. So now we have make our project sophisticated enough that you can show it to your seniors and colleagues to get more ideas and learn new things. Our next topic is Android architecture, component, view model, and live data.